ain't got no problem with him either. You know, I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, you know, and how he was acting.
He's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money.
Given the history of the sport, I didn't see nobody that can compete with Terence Crawford in.
He got miles on him, and he ain't got that.
You know, these guys, I don't think know what they do anything. It's mostly talking.
The super middleweight champion of all time, David Benavidez.
This dude can punch.
Where the hell do you go from here?
Terence "Bud" Crawford has just achieved the unthinkable, pulling off one of the greatest accomplishments in modern boxing history.
Congratulations, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You used all my tricks to beat Canelo, just like I showed you. You went in there and you got it done. Unbelievable, bro. All jokes aside, man. Congratulations, champ. So well deserved. Salute.
But as the world hailed him as an all-time great, a new colossal challenge was suddenly proposed, one that sparked major controversy and drew a surprisingly fiery response from Crawford himself.
What do you see for yourself after this fight? How long do you want to be in the sport? How long do you want to be actively fighting?
I don't know. You know,
it's not something you think about. You're just going fight by fight.
I always take one fight at a time. You know, one fight at a time. I feel great. I'm healthy. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having some fun.
A powerful figure in the sport began pushing for a fight that many believe is far too dangerous, even for a legend like Bud.
I'm sick of seeing fighters getting the easiest fights just because they're getting the biggest paychecks. Like it don't. At the end of the day, it's not even about money. It's about giving the fans of boxing the fights that they deserve. They're paying the money at the end of the day, so fuck, let's go to war. Let's do what these people want to see us do, and let's go to war and may the best man win. I wasn't gonna go down to 168, but now.
The real question is, why is this fight being pushed? And what does it reveal about the hidden forces controlling boxing? Crawford's leap to 168 lbs was already a huge gamble, but it paid off spectacularly. He stepped into the ring against Canelo Alvarez in an event so massive that commentator John Anik called it the biggest live sporting event he had ever witnessed. And Crawford put on a masterclass.
I mean, if Legacy's something for him, he's got to win one of those two fights. So you think? Yeah, I think in order to that one of the greatest. I think that we would have to. We have to beat one of those guys. You know, I mean, the only person that he hasn't fought is Benavidez. And I don't know. Bud said he wouldn't fight him, but I don't think that's true. I think that if that fight happens, I think Bud would also entertain that, and if he does entertain it, it seemed like the way that he beat Canelo he'll be able to beat him again.
The entire world watched as Bud dismantled a living legend, winning a unanimous decision. But it wasn't just the victory. It was the manner in which he won. Sharp-eyed analysts noted that Canelo's style had grown predictable, relying on a slow, single-shot rhythm. Crawford, the ultimate tactician, exploited this weakness with flawless timing and intelligent counters.
He older. He got miles on him, and he ain't got that.
And B-side, when you asked me, you said, how would you beat him like he beat? What I tell you?
The same thing. You'll keep the jab on it. Keep sticking the jab, moving and touching him with the right hand, and just turning him on angles.
And throwing punches. That's how I just throw punches at him.
Yeah.
And I said level to the body because that's open for him all night.
You said he ain't got the movement no more. You said he ain't,
Adding to this, former UFC champion Kamaru Usman observed that the mean, ruthless Canelo was no longer there, suggesting the Mexican superstar had lost the psychological edge that once made him so feared. This complete victory etched Crawford's name into history, making him the first male boxer ever to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes.
I want to thank all my fans here that support me. I want to thank. This is bigger than the norm, you know, because I want to thank my urban community. I want to thank my Latin community.
I want to thank my white community, and I want to thank my Asian community, my African community. I want to thank everybody, because today you see us all as one. You know, and a lot of people always say, how you get the Mexicans to side with you? I said, hey, my people too. I said so it don't matter if I'm fighting Canelo. Some of the urban community is going for Canelo.
But just as the celebrations reached their peak, an unexpected voice disrupted the moment. That voice belonged to Turki Alalshikh, one of the most influential figures in boxing today. With his immense financial power, his suggestions aren't really suggestions. They're moves that can reshape the entire sport.
Do you want to see a rematch?
No. He's not beaten Crawford, Canelo.
Okay.
I think he can he improve? Maybe.
Okay, so wait. If he's not beating Crawford, which is fair, right? I agree. Based on what we saw, I do think he can make improvements, but who knows? Is there someone else better out there than that you'd rather see Crawford fight than Canelo?
Well, Turkey did ask, could Bivol get down to 168?
I asked, Turkey said, can Benavidez?
I thought he said Bivol.
No,
as well.
I said Bivol.
Oh.
Turkey said Benavidez.
Well, certainly not. Certainly not Benavidez. I don't think he's beaten Benavidez. I think that's a bridge way too far. I think a lot of things too far. But could you just imagine if Bivol could, the skill we'd see in that fight?
Yeah.
The rounds between Canelo and Crawford went by like that. They'd be the same against those two. That'd be epic.
Shortly after Crawford's historic victory, Turkey casually proposed what he saw as the next logical step for the new king of the 168 Lay-B division, a blockbuster showdown with
Hear me out here, Kamaru. Terence Crawford versus the Mexican monster, David Benavidez.
I knew it was coming.
He was a mandatory for Canelo.
Oh my God. Relax.
What's up? The scariest guy in the division.
He's not in the division.
He said he could still make 168 pounds. Dude. The reason why he was up because nobody wants to fight him.
That's a big dude. And to be honest, Terence Crawford's 37 years old.
It's about merit. Could I get to the generational talent, as he said, with Manny Pacquiao? He's an 8-division world champ.
If it ain't no big name, Terence, do what you do, bro.
Proposal immediately sent shockwaves through the boxing world. This wasn't just a casual idea. It was a move that ignited a firestorm, especially from Bud himself.
Would you ever entertain a fight with David Benavidez?
You gotta understand.
I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't,
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. His brother was big when I fought him. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. He might be thick, but he's not a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude.
And he's skilled.
I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Yeah, I understand what you're looking at. You're like, you know what?
You just size him up.
Yeah,
you just size him up. Especially when you're going into a bigger weight class like that. You size him up and you see your advantages.
Crawford's reaction was immediate and uncompromising. He flatly rejected the idea of facing David Benavidez, calling him simply too big. He explained that the Canelo fight was different, because while they fought in separate divisions, their size was comparable. But Benavidez, Crawford painted a vivid picture. A man over 6 feet tall who would likely rehydrate to a staggering 190-200 lbs on fight night.
Canelo hasn't fought David Benavidez yet, and a lot of people looked at him having to move from the super middleweight to the light heavyweight division to get some of the matches that he wants. But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
No, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look.
Right, not now. He's at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no more. When you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. And I told him that a long time. I told him that when, before I fought his brother. I said, man, dude, you can fight, dude. You're gonna do big things. But the dude gonna come in at like 200, 210. You know what I mean? I get why Canelo, you know, was like, I don't need to fight this dude because, you know, he can take a punch. He gonna come in there and gonna just lay on you and bulldoze you, you know?
Right.
And Canelo just didn't want that, you know what I mean, work. But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability that I could beat anybody.